Hey, g'day guys, it's Adam from VideoShowMeHow, and in today's video, it's all about the Stormod overarch storage box. And first up, I wanted to say thank you very much for purchasing one of the Stormod overarch storage boxes for yourself. In today's video, we're going to run through step by step exactly what you need to do to build your box, to put it all together. So grab your beverage of choice, grab a nice flat work surface and unpack your box so you got everything all laid out just like this. Now, as far as what you're going to need to put the thing together, technically you could do the whole thing with just a Phillips head screwdriver, and I've tried to make it as simple as possible. So you could just use that if you needed to. A couple of optional extras though recommended is to grab yourself an impact driver. That's just going to speed up the whole process. Grab yourself a little pick if you've got one handy, even something like a toothpick. That can come in handy when you're lining up the hammerhead nuts. And then also just a dead blow hammer or a little hammer. That can come in handy when you're sort of lining up the extrusion. But that's about all you're going to need. So step one is just to separate all your components. Your skins on one side, extrusion on the other, and then bust open your bag of screws and brackets. So here we go. We've got everything all laid out. The first panel you want to start with is the big sucker. Have that flipped over so you've got the smooth section on top. We've got all of our extrusion all laid out here so you can pick the ones you need. You should have four different piles in total. So you've got your two sets of screws, your self-tappers and the regular ones. Got a whole bunch of hammerhead nuts, and then you've got your brackets. Now I have thrown in a few spares as well, so if one of these sort of goes wandering off the edge of the table into the abyss, never fear, you've got a couple of backups. So we want to start by building our skeleton onto our front panel. Now the top tip throughout all of this is you want to build the skeleton to line up to the sheet. These are all laser cut to 1/2 mil, so these are completely square and perfect. So to start with, grab two of your longer panels, and then there should only be two of the ones in between. They sit in there a little bit like that, squared out. And then how this whole thing works is ultimately what you want to do in each of the corners is grab a bracket. You want to grab a hammerhead little nut on both sides there, and then two of our screws. That's your sort of setup for each of the corners. So how this works is these drop in. Now these little hammerheads, I don't know if you've seen these before, have a smooth side on the back, and then you have a side that has the little lines on it, and the little lines actually locks it into place into the extrusion. So if we drop it in a little like that, and then when you screw it down, what happens is as you screw it is it twists around just like that. So you can see as you twist down, and then as you tighten it, it firms up against the top of the aluminium extrusion, tightening everything up, and it sort of acts as a washer to keep everything, a lock washer to keep everything locked into place. So that's how that works. What we want to do is grab your setup. So that's a bracket in each corner, two hammerhead nuts, two screws, and screw them all into place. Now there's a couple of different ways you can do that. You can just drop them in and screw them in one at a time. That's where your little pick will come in handy to sort of help it along if you need to. After doing this a whole bunch of times, I found the easiest is actually assemble your brackets. So what I mean by that is you want to put your screw through first, get your hammerhead nut a little bit like that, and then leave it sort of so you've got a bit of wiggle room, and then just assemble a whole bunch of your brackets in this configuration, because that's effectively how you're then going to put into each of the different corners. So if you sort of pre-assemble a bunch like that, it just makes life a whole lot easier. Then when you line it up into your corners, it's just a matter of sort of lining up each of those little nuts in here like that side, and then the same on this side, and there you go. That's as simple as that. It makes life a whole lot easier. And then once you've got everything all lined up, it's just a matter of tightening down each of those. Just remember, these need to be tight, just regular tight, not maniac tight. So once you're at this stage, just refrain from flipping this over and installing the skin just for the moment. It's a lot easier later on if you do this one towards the end, so you can access from inside. Now from here, you want to grab the next longer ones, not the super long ones, but the next size down, these guys, and they're going in the corners at the top. So same as before, we've got a couple of our pre-built little bracket combos here. We just want to line up one on one corner and then the other one on the other. So they should look a little bit like that. They're our tops. So we're actually looking down on the top from the top here. So from here, we want to grab one of our other big lengths, and and then that gets connected at the top to form our roof. Right, so once you've got that in, the next step I recommend is actually throwing a skin on the side. It's just gonna make life a whole lot easier and make it make sense as you're putting it together. So have a look through your skins, and you wanna grab the right leg. So these are your L-shaped ones, so you can just sort of sit him in there a little bit like that. Now to screw these guys on, you're going to need a mixture. So where it joins into a hole in your extrusion, you're going to need to use one of the self tappers. That's why I recommend using an impact driver. It's just going to make life a whole lot easier. In our case though, let's just go ahead and screw on our ends. We've got our L shape on this side and then same on the other. That will start firming up our frame. Now, top tip when you are blasting these into place is you want to just use your impact driver if you can. I'd screw it through so it's kind of through like that to start with. Line him up, get a good grip, and then you want to push hard into the extrusion so it bites in. So just keep everything on nice and lined up, squeeze it together. And once again, you don't want to drive the absolute heck out of this, you just want to drive it in so it's nice and tight and square, just like that. Now, once both of these corners are screwed in, just remember you do have an extra little hole here. So that one needs to have one of the hammer heads slipped in underneath here. So you can slot him into place under there like that, a little bit like that. And then just grab one of your regular screws, and then you can screw that one into place before you go zapping the corner piece down here into place. Now, it is a good time to point out as well, if you do have any sort of packing schmutz or anything on the alloy, it's only superficial. Easiest way to get that off and actually after you've built this as well down the track, the easiest way to clean aluminium checker plate, you can see here from shipping that sort of stuff, easiest way to do that is a half mix of vinegar and water and wipe that over and it'll come up brand new. So there we go. Next step is to start adding in our extra lengths here. So there should be 3 long ones left. You can bring them over, and then we want to, same as before, grab your self tappers, one in there, one in the middle there, and then one at the top. Perfect. Now you're doing great so far. From here, we want to start fleshing out the rest of the skeleton, and we want to focus on our leg here. This is upside down, so we want to focus on that first. So what you need to do is grab the 2 longer bits here. They go in there just a little bit like that. Same on the other side, and then we want to get the two of our shortest lengths, and they slot into the bottom of our leg in there like that. And then same on the other side, one there and another one in the top corner. And there we go, our legs are in, so that's all squared away for our leg strength, leg day. So from here, our next part is to form up the rest of our corners here as well. So there should be 2 longer pieces left, these guys. They need to go one in there and then the other one on the other side. All right, so on to the next step. Those guys are all in. We're getting to the home stretch of our extrusion here. You should only have 3 left. We have a longer one. Now that one is designed to go in the middle. So you'll see in the big plate, there's a hole, and that's designed to just give you some extra strength. We'll have a look at that guy in a minute. We should have 2 identical length ones, the little shorties, and they're designed to go, if we flim this around, you can kind of see already, right, in there. So they just slot into place there, and then same on the other side. All right, great job. Your skeleton is complete. There should only be a single bit of extrusion left. We'll get to that one in a minute. From here, we can start skinning it. Everything should be pretty square, but just be prepared as you're doing the skin, you may need to just slightly adjust. What you do want to do is while you're doing each of the skins, you want to make sure that after everything's all lined up and you're ready to go around and tighten up all of these so that they're really tight. Not maniac tight, just regular tight, but that'll sort of be your last opportunity, if you will. So as far as skinning it, it's just a matter of going all the way around now and adding all of your components. The good news is they can only fit on one spot. They are all different. The upside of that is you can't muck it up. So it's just a matter of working out what goes where. Our skinniest of skinny ones, that is the base. That is the foot, if you will, because we're upside down here at the moment. When you're skinning, you want to make sure that the skeleton squares up to the skin itself, because like we said before, everything's laser cut to 0.5 millimeter. So you want to make sure that the skeleton lines up to that. And as you can see here, you should be pretty well bang on anyway. Now, the easiest way going about attaching the skin to the skeleton itself is just to kind of line everything up. So if you sort of just take it a step back, look for your little holes. There should be one in every corner and sometimes in the middle sections. And then all you want to do is grab your hammerhead little nuts here, drop them in, slide them along until they line up. Do that on all sides, same on the other side. And then it's a matter of grabbing your machine screws and then screwing each of the skins into place. Now when you get to the inside, this is where the wheel would be in the wheel arch. You want to do the leg section first because they'll sort of sit in over the top of each other. So you'll see what I mean because it all lines up perfectly when you put it in the right way. But make sure you do the inner part of the leg first, and then once that's in place, you can slide in the underneath section of the top tub. From here, we've only got a couple to go. Before you put that back one on though, we need to make sure that we are putting this in place. So that one is going to go in the middle there, just like that. So before you put the rest of these panels on, I'd recommend doing the base plate. So we can sit that on there, get it around the right way, a little bit like that. So it'll sit on there like that, and then this guy's designed to sit up underneath here. So before you go screwing it down, I'd recommend getting the last of your brackets. This guy here, get that ready, attach him on there so that you can install that into place up underneath there, just like that. And then it should sit pretty firm in against here. So it just gives you that extra rigidity. So that's our next step. You want to get your bracket ready to go and attach it in underneath there. Then flip the whole lot over so you can install the main plate. So from here, it's just grabbing your big panel and making sure that that is all nice and lined up there again. And then same as what you've done on the rest of the box, get all your hammerheads, line them up to the bolt holes. There's a whole bunch on this one, and then final screw it into place. All right, home stretch, we are almost done. Once you've got your little expander in there, we are almost done here. It's just a matter of, you should only have 2 plates left. No surprises on where they go. We have the front one on the top here. This is what's gonna stick to the inside of the tub. And then we've got our lid. So that's our last step, is to bolt these into place. Obviously, if you wanna fill this guy up with 12-volt gear, with inverters, with whatever you're gonna be doing, now's the time to do that before you final mount that into your tub. And there we go. The fact that we just have some spare screws, nuts left can only mean one thing, and that is you are complete. Congratulations, you are finished and you have the completed article. You have the full Stormod overarch storage box. Now, a couple of quick things as far as care and maintenance. The upside with this, like we said in the videos, that if you damage any of this or you need spare parts or maybe you're customizing further inside, just head on over to the website to the spares section, and all of these parts will be available to purchase as well, and I can get them out to you relatively cheaply, so you've got that up your sleeve. Now, one final thing to mention, if you did get this as part of a kit with the other 2, so you bought sort of all 3 or even just 2, you'll need to join them together. You will get these in the kit if you did get more than one, and how they work is they basically just bolt together just like that. So just undo one of these screws in one side and then same thing on the other one, screw that into place there and there. There you'll get 4 of these, so I recommend doing the outside corners, so 1 corner on the bottom, 1 corner on the top, and this corner. Obviously we've got a cutout here and that ain't gonna line up, so in lieu of that I'd just do 1 on the top or 1 on the top on that corner as well. So that's how you attach them together and make them all nice, one solid strong unit. The final thing to mention is how to mount this in your tub, and that part is up to you. There's a couple of different ways that you can do it depending on whether you're going to go with a full permanent install, kind of like I've done in the back of my D-Max. If you do want to go that way, I'd recommend just getting some big solid L brackets. Once again, depending on what you want to do in your tub, whether you want to drill through the bottom, whether you want to put rib nuts, it's up to you. But the beauty of these with the extrusion, it's just a matter of drilling a hole through and then you can sort of bolt it, literally bolt it to whatever you want to attach it to. The back of the tub does have M8 bolts that are built in. You can see that in my overview videos on how I've done that. I've just used some L brackets, some big solid ones, and made that sort of just a little bit of a bend on the front corners on mine so that that fits on the front one. There's another one at the back. There's a few different ways if you want to go the full whole hog permanent install. Other options would be attaching bracket to the top to attach to the roller shutter if that's what you're using, and the brackets that come off that, that's another option. But if you're after more of a sort of a semi-permanent option, sort of temporary option, another option is actually using some straps along the front. There is an M8 tie down point at the front corner that you can put a little eyelet in, and then same in the back corner. So you could literally run a strap all the way around to jam it against the side of your tub. And then of course it makes things really easy if you want to get it out and only use it for trips or something like that. So that part's up to you, but that's it guys. So thank you again for supporting Stormod. I hope you enjoy the unit, and tag me in any of your social media posts, whether you're on Facebook or Instagram or your TikToks or any of that sort of stuff. Show me what you're using it for. I'm really keen to see what people's setup is inside this and what they end up using it for. So tag me on any of your socials. I'm keen to see. But that's it for this one guys. So as always, I hope that you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers guys.